Hey, good morning. We'll start with this morning's agenda. First item on the agenda is A 2018-43-51 Chestnut Street. Anyone here in support or opposition? Come forward, please. Good morning.
Hi.
Your name?
James Goff.
Hey, James, have you had an opportunity to review staff's report?
This here, yeah, I've just
Yes.
read it, yeah.
Okay, you'll notice they're recommending approval with a condition, which is a standard condition for building permit. There was no other comments or conditions by any other agencies. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chair, this is very straightforward. One condition, as you mentioned, building permit. I will move that this be approved as per the staff report.
Second?
Second that.
All in favor? Carried. Thanks, James.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Next application is A 2018-44, 1275 Bleams Road. Support or opposition? Good morning.
Morning.
Your name?
Phil Sheedle.
Hey, Phil, how you doing?
Good.
You had an opportunity to review staff's report?
Yes, I have.
Phil, they're recommending approval. Excuse me, approval. Just a couple of questions that I had. I noticed that the building department had a comment about a building permit. Should we insert that as a condition? I know it goes without saying, but following the same format as the last application, that might be applicable. So that's one comment. The other comment that I had to staff is it's hard to benchmark a percentage, and I was wondering if we should make the recommendation also specific to a cap of the square footage, in this case the square meters, 2,841, which I believe should be the size.
Sure, that's fine with staff. I agree that it would be a little more accurate with the square footage.
It's a little bit clearer on the decision, that's all. So, two friendly additions for conditions, one then being the building permit, and one would be the second being to cap the building area to 2,841 meters squared. Okay, any other questions or comments?
No, Mr. Chair, I don't have any questions or concerns. So with this, I would like to make a motion to for this application to be approved as amended.
Second? All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next application is A 2018-45, 46 Page Street. Anyone support or opposition? Come forward, please. The applicants are not here? Okay, we'll have to set this application aside for right now. Okay. Until the neighbors show up, or until the applicant shows up. Okay? Thank you, sorry about that. All right. Next application is A 2018-46, 671 Glasgow Street, Unit 7. Support or opposition, come forward, please. Good morning. Your name?
Good morning. My name is Zach Wallachuk.
Zach, have you had an opportunity to review staff's report?
I have, yes.
Okay, they're recommending approval. Once again, I think we'll just insert a condition for the building permit. No, that's right. This is the new format, isn't it? Okay, so the recommendation in the front here, it says approve. It's approved, actually approved with conditions, and condition being the building permit.
Okay.
Okay, any questions or comments from anyone?
Again, Mr. Chair, very straightforward, the one condition building permit, so I move that this be approved as per the staff report.
Second? All in favor? Carried. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Next application is A 2018-47. That's 1402 to 1430 Highland Road West. Anyone here in support or opposition? Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Scott Patterson from
Scott.
LaBrush Patterson and Associates.
Scott, how are you doing? Have you had an opportunity to review staff's report?
Yes, I have. No questions or concerns with the staff report.
All right. Recommending approval without any conditions. And I guess we'll hear from Transportation since we did not have the opportunity to review the parking justification. You're happy with that?
Through you, Mr. Chair, we received the TDM and parking justification study, and we support the findings that were submitted.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
No comments or questions, Mr. Chair. So with this, I would like to make a motion to approve this application as per staff report.
Second?
I will second that, Mr. Chair.
All in favor? Carried.
Thank you very much.
Next application is A 2018-48, 624 King Street West. Anyone here in support or opposition, come forward, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. My name is James Fried, architect. I am the applicant.
Okay,
agent.
James.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Chair. Jason Landry, own the property adjacent to the 624 King Street.
What we'll do is we'll just walk through the application with James first and then give you an opportunity to voice your concerns or opposition. Okay, James, have you had an opportunity to review staff's report?
Yes, we have, Mr. Chair, and we agree with the report and the conditions and request approval of the application.
All right. Once again, in the staff's report through the Transportation Services, they state that they'll need to review the stackable parking system to make sure that it's appropriate for this development. Should this maybe form part of or become a condition of this application as well?
Through you, Mr. Chair, that's fine.
Okay, so we'd like to amend the application to include another condition to accommodate that. All right. And I'll turn it over to you.
I guess we're just here. We haven't had a chance to review the application. We thought there would be copies here, but there was only one copy available. We just have a few questions because we're right beside the property in question for approval. To my understanding, two properties have been combined to create this 624 King Street West. So 19 Wellington as well was combined with 624.
Okay.
So my question is for the on the 624 there was a garage, so an auto garage on that property prior. So my question was, a soil sample conducted on that property?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have a record of site condition from Ministry of Environment, and the property is clean, suitable for development.
You probably had to do a record of site condition.
Sorry?
Did you have to do a record of site condition?
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
And we have that on
I thought
file.
you said,
Yes.
And my other question is with the six-story building, the majority of the sun will be blocked during the daylight hours, so that will affect my property as well. So I'm just wondering, has that been put into consideration as well? So the properties around this six-story building that is proposed to be constructed?
Yes, Mr. Chair. The issue with regards to shading is being considered by the Site Plan Committee, City of Kitchener. There actually are no specific guidelines in place. However, we are discussing that with staff, and we have provided a shade study. The subject property owned by the neighbors is essentially on the east side of our site, so it is only shaded during part of the day when the sun is in the west. And we are providing that graphical information to staff for review.
All right, and that's staff, that's dealt through site plan application and not at this committee in any event. Do you have any other questions?
That's all the questions I have currently.
Great, thanks for coming
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, I turn it over to my colleagues. Do you have any questions or comments?
Mr. Chair, this seems fairly straightforward. It will be going through site plan, so I move that this be approved as per the staff report.
And amended with the condition for the from traffic. All right, second? Yes?
I just wanted to bring your attention to the CN Rail just because they've noted a couple of other things. Have you seen their comments quickly? Whether a condition, no.
They're not an agency that we normally clear conditions from, so.
I don't mind, they just have a number of things noted.
They will be consulted through the process, but.
Okay,
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure it was seen. Proceed, sorry.
All right, still second? All in favor? Carried, thank you.
So I think we'll just have to go online and look at the site assessment.
All right, next application is a 2018-49. That's 268 Frederick Street. Support or opposition, please?
Through you, Mr. Chair, at this point in time, I'm declaring a conflict of interest because the applicant is a personal friend.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Paul Bullenbach, owner 268 Frederick Street.
Okay, Paul, have you had an opportunity to review staff's report?
Yes, I have.
They're recommending approval with conditions. There's also an amendment that they're requesting to the application. Are you willing to amend your application accordingly?
Sorry, I can't hear you properly.
There's an amendment to the application. Sorry about that, Paul. There's an amendment to the application that staff has requested. So are you willing to amend the application? That's in the second paragraph of the planning comments in the report.
Oh, the Appendix A, minor variance?
No, in the report itself on the second page. On the opposite side of the one that shows the aerial photo.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Yes, I understand that.
Okay, a couple of the comments that I had is in the recommendation and the conditions in clause 1 is I think maybe we should insert in there just to the satisfaction of the planning division. But as it stands right now, all they have to do is submit, but you don't have the opportunity to approve. And the other comment, there was a comment, this relates back to traffic again, whereas they made a comment that they can support it so long as it's in accordance with the existing use as it exists right now. So we may want to insert another condition, condition 5, that this parking reduction is applicable only so long as the use on the site is office. Are you fine with those?
I understand that, yes.
Okay. The other comment, was there a date change that you were looking for?
Yes, on the amendment, or on the appendix, two sections of that site plan approval for parking layout is obtained from the Planning Division, of course, including removal of non-complying pavement. And then the second appendix, that the owner submit elevation drawings, fine. Third one, can we change the date possibly to, say, in April 30th, 2019? Basically, what we have there right now is asphalt along the side of the building, which would help any of the construction or the tenders to absolutely work within the area without supplying a mudded environment. Basically, just an extension if possible.
Staff has no concerns with that.
No concerns?
No.
All right, so we'll amend that to April 30th, 2019 then, and that's condition number 3.
Was it April 30th? That was the date that we...
That's what he asked for, April 30th, 2019,
Yes, please.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then also that the owner acknowledge in writing that the dwelling unit be accessory to the business use and occupied only by the owner or staff. I am absolutely going to be living there for the rest of my life, but my business may not. It will always be a commercial business underneath, but I may not be my particular business that occupies that space.
Just to clarify, what we're asking you to acknowledge is about the dwelling unit. And so if you are intending to live there, that's what we need.
Fabulous.
We recognize that businesses could change over time,
Yeah.
but it's the dwelling unit. So.
I hope to retire sometime. Thank you.
Okay, then we need to amend that as well, because the manner that it's written, I can see the concerns. So, essentially a dwelling unit's a dwelling unit. I don't really understand the...
I would just recommend that we leave it the way it is. Yeah. I don't have any concern with the way it's written.
Or change the word "the" to a business use.
I think that would be agreeable.
But then if I may, through you, Mr. Chair, if you change it to a business use, then the gentleman could not continue to reside there should the business use change.
That's his concern.
Because it's accessory to the business use.
The business use. Yeah, I guess the concern is occupied only by the owner or staff. So should that maybe come out? Because I can understand his concern. Now he's pegged there to...
But I think that's the reason we put it in there, because the zoning is very specific about that in this area.
Okay.
So.
Is it not C1 zoning that allows?
It's not a C1 zoning. I think it's a mixed zone. Just a second.
CR1.
It's a CR zone, which is a commercial and residential zone. So.
Okay, so then what I'm hearing is he needs to operate the business if he's going to live there. Is that correct? Right.
That's the intent.
So there's no way around that.
If the business is sold, maybe then at that time, I know it seems like but the zoning is very specific in this area. So.
Okay.
According to... That's very restrictive, isn't it?
Do you have any more comments to staff about that, or?
I mean, I plan on living there for the rest of my life, but yeah.
Through you, Mr.
Would it be
Chair.
better to apply for a different zoning?
The zoning would be, you know, it would be a much more onerous process for you to go through. Considering you are living in there, I mean, for the time, the status quo, it's really not an issue. I think you're suggesting that it may become an issue should you sell your business, right?
Exactly.
I don't know how to deal with it because it's an unknown at this point in time.
I just don't want it to be an issue then, yeah.
Like right now, it wouldn't be an issue if you're residing there. And you are still practicing, you have your business, it's still there.
So what would happen if you wanted to close the business up and just live there, and there's no business operating?
It will be a matter of enforcement. I mean, I don't know, I'm certainly not going to be, it's certainly not going to be something that staff would necessarily police.
Right.
But I mean, it is enforceable, so.
So then his process at that particular point in time would be to come back to committee again of adjustments, or a zone change, one of the two, correct?
And perhaps at that time, he would know more in terms of the direction. I don't know.
Okay. We'll just leave it.
Or leave it, yeah, for the time being.
All right, so you're comfortable with leaving it as it is right now?
Pardon me?
Are you comfortable with leaving it as it is right now?
Well, yes and no. If that's the best that we can really do, I'll accept that. I know change will.
Probably is at this particular point in time, unless you wanted to request a deferral to let staff further
I would suggest if you're comfortable with it now, and then when things change, you maybe come and speak to us again at that time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think that would be appropriate.
Okay. All right, we'll leave it like it is for right now then. Okay, do you have questions or comments?
I think I don't have any questions anymore. So, through you, Mr. Chair, I would like to make a motion to approve this application as amended.
All right, second. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next application is B 2018-31, 2018-32, 25 and 75 Fallowfield Drive. Supporter opposition, come forward, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. My name is Tom Hardiger, planner with the IBI Group. I'm here on behalf of Druid Holdings, and I have with me George Bekas from Druid Holdings.
Good morning. Have you had an opportunity to review staff's report?
Yes, we have read the staff report, and I'm pleased to inform the committee that my client's in agreement with the recommendations of the staff report.
Okay, there's comments from Hydro that need to be inserted in this, and regional comments as well. All right. Anyone have any questions or comments? No? Motion?
No. Yep, I don't have any comments or questions. So with this, I like to make a motion that this application be approved as per the staff conditions and Hydro comment.
Hi, Hydro and regional. All right, second.
I'll second that as amended.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. All right, is the applicant here yet for 2018-45, 46 Page Street? No. Unfortunately, it's going to have to be held over to the next meeting. Okay. We can send the standard notice that we send out. Okay. Yeah. So this will be brought back to the next Committee of Adjustment meeting. Great, motion to adjourn. First, second, all in favor, carried. Thank you.